Happy Sunday, traders. I'm Clayton Allen, host of the Day Trading Plumber and founder here at Allen FX. So if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the little alert button. Just because I said you need to. Just kidding. But yes, if you want to get this video every week, you want to get all of my trade ideas, and plus I'm going to be ramping up some content here on YouTube and on Instagram. Hit the subscribe button, follow. But what this is, for those of you who just found this, I go through the charts, all the majors and crosses, the pairs that we trade here at Allen FX, and we simply plot support and resistance areas, inflection points that we want to be aware of on higher time frames. Because a lot of the trades I'm taking, especially now, are on much smaller time frames, and I just want to know when price has zeroed into that area so I can make decisions. Doesn't mean if I'm in a bearish area I just automatically jump bearish. I do want to make sure I have that confirmation, trend line break, whatever it is, whatever you use, but those are inflection points where you tend to look for reversals or continuations of trends there. All right, let's not waste any more time. Check out the links I got below. I got a Signal service where you can copy my trades that I put on my own real accounts. I also got a few online courses from very beginner to super advanced. Check those out over at allenfx.com. And that's enough plugging. Let's get on the charts, people. Let's get on these charts. All right, let me take a sip of coffee. All right, let's start with Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. These are in no specific order other than alphabetical order, okay? I always go to the daily or 4 hour, and you might notice something a little different this week. I'm going to start leaving all of the fib levels on here. Mostly because I'm starting to use those now on my smaller time frame. It does clog up this a little bit, but maybe I won't. Let's just put the R2s on there. Actually, we don't even really need the pivot points, the weekly pivot points on there. I do want the 200 EMA, and I do want Knoxville divergence. So, last Sunday, we were down here, and we were looking for price to come up and hit this area. Well, what do we see here, guys? We blew past this area, so now I don't want to be bearish. We are well on our way past that area, but now we have this. So, this is going to be a pretty big area because you can see the wick to body, which is technically how you should draw these zones. Oh man, I thought I was gonna sneeze. And that's where the last time we had this divergence. So we had this really long, man, if we get out here and look at this perspective here, right? We've been very bullish since March, Mr. COVID, right? That's that COVID dip. This was pre-COVID, and now we're kind of up here where we were, spring of 2019. So, I'm definitely going to look and wait to see what price does in this zone. Australian dollar, Swiss franc, we are in this zone from last week. If we pop through, this is the obvious area, and structure tells us we're still bullish. This one's not that far from where we were pre-COVID. It's actually just a little under. probably move this up to there so we got a little bit tighter window here. And that is probably pretty accurate. Okay, Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Okay, we've popped past this area. Now, guys, obviously what we want to see is a pullback confirmation to this area and then go long. So that's what I'm going to look for. AUD and ZD. We are definitely on the backside of this box. It is definitely a bullish. We have bullish structure consolidation. So it's not a bad look if you see enough support here to take that buy trade from this backside of this box. Now, we're flirting with breaking through, but what's good about this type of trade is you can put the trade on and put a pretty aggressive, tight stop loss because you're on the backside of this. What oftentimes, if we're going to do a little bit of trading here, if you take that trade from the backside, obviously you want to see what's going to happen here, and you're hoping you go here. Well, let's not use the word hope. But as far as stop loss, you can be super tight on a trade like this. Then as opposed to if you take the trade up here, let's say you got a little gun shy or trigger happy and you're sure it's going to break out. Well, man, you have a high probability it's going to be in this range. So your stop loss would be like 140 pips all the way down here, as opposed to if you got in down here, you could probably get away with a 41 pip stop loss. All right, there's a little bit of a lesson on this, but let's get moving. Australian dollar, US dollar. So the Australian dollar, we see a trend, right? It's busted through levels. It's creating new highs. I'm going to have to search over here to look for our next. I mean, that top right there could be it, right? I'm going to go a little bit to the high side. That's our next one. I think we could probably put our bullish there. So we got a little bit of a range down here. Technically, we're already way past that one. Jeez. There we go. We're in this range right now. Which is, you can see price in this downward. Come test this 200 EMA. If occasionally we get pretty close and then just plummet. Then we had a cross, right? A fake cross, which is always kind of, that's always kind of your sign. This consolidation, we bumped above, we quickly went back down, then we had COVID, whatever. And then we've been on this recovery. I'll tell you what we don't have, if you follow this, we don't have this pullback to the 200 EMA to retest it yet. So this is where we're going to be seriously looking for that move. Hey guys, I'm recording. Please. All right, sorry about that. CAD Swiss franc. So again, you can see kind of a head and shoulders pattern here on this bearish drop. I'm actually feeling that we've tested the 200 EMA. We keep testing this area. We kind of got price boxed in right here, but we haven't broken this trend, this upward trend. Guys, if you're gonna be in here, be quiet. Okay, please. I don't feel like re-recording everything. All right, so we're kind of in this trend. So until you break this trend, you got to think bullish. So we're kind of testing that trend line. So it's not a bad continuation type trade. I'm going to wait and see what happens up here and look and see if we could get that really good drop. Okay, Canadian dollar JPY, not much to report. We kind of have this bullish cup happening, but we rejected. We shot all the way up into our spot. You can see this attempt, and then we've been a really nice rejection. So we may be going bearish, all the way down to this 200 EMA. And if we break that point, we have this inflection zone as an obvious target. First, Swiss franc JPY, kind of same thing. We have this upward trend. We've double topped. You can see my midweek review. We've double topped. We spiked all the way to the backside. Perfect setup for that sell. I like this thing short. You could jump in even right now, and you would probably get to here. You need to see what it's gonna do. If we're gonna get another consolidation retest, which is probably what I'm gonna wait for. I'm gonna see what it does here, and if it pops back up to this level, I'll be a seller. Australian dollar, euro, Australian dollar. Well, we have a really nice range to trade from. Really strong bearish move last week. But we're hitting this support. So we do definitely want to see what's going to happen there and see if we get a good bounce. Same thing with euro, Swiss franc. We have a really good range right on the 200 EMA. We may be attempting to pass it. Euro GBP. Looks like we just broke this range. Looks like we just got a pretty good confirmation type candle. We had a little indecision here, and then I think we're going to make a run to that 200 EMA for sure. Euro JPY is in a range, and we're going to have to see what happens at one of these levels, up here again or down here. Euro NZD. Wow, look at that. So, really strong bullish run. You could see losing steam, right? You can see this. You don't have to be trading very long to see that we've gone sideways, and then when you get this kind of candle, I call these the FU candles. The bears just took over. Obvious targets is 200 EMA. Now, this could be just a lot of people taking profit because this is a strong resistance, okay? But all these bulls are going to get back into it, probably right about here. So you can get a really good, maybe retest of this top. Euro USD. We've found a little bit of support here, but man, look at, we are going sideways. I mean, if we were talking obvious, right? So we need to wait. We need to wait for price. You could definitely trade in between these levels, but what I'm waiting for is a break down or break up. So then we can catch one of these runs. Euro CAD. Bullish cup, but look at how big that cup is. And these are daily candles, guys. So from March to July, and are we gonna make another attempt? I think we should be thinking bearish, at least at that level. Let's go ahead and put a make it bullish. Why not? There we go. That feels good to me. So I think we got some pretty good downside potential. Really good double top going on here. British pound AUD. We're kind of sandwiched down here on the bullish side of this range. I would look, if we get down into here, I'm going to look heavy bullish. We're finding a little bit of support right where it's at. So we're kind of at a really good make or break zone right now. British pound, Canadian dollar. We have a pretty decent range. Looks like we attempted here, and now this bullish flag pattern has been broken. Let me show you. what I'm talking about. See if I can find my oh, there it is. Bam. Bam. All right. Bullish structure, consolidation downwards, perfect bullish flag pattern, and then you have that FU candle that we're winning. So I really highly probable we're going back up to that top. And guys, just so if if you're getting that feeling like you missed it, well, that's 239 pips. So if you got a week and a half to spare, not a bad trade, right? I'm going to turn that one red. British pound, Swiss franc. British pound, Swiss franc. All right. So looks like we're making an attempt on the 200 EMA. Our support resistance is up here, so we may get that little shot past, but I'm going to start looking short on this pair right around the 200 EMA in this area. British pound JPY. So we had a pretty decent midday resistance going on, and we just popped right through that thing. So I think here, looking at this, I think we have a really good chance of hitting this area, possibly this week. So, and those of you who think should have caught it at the bottom, that's 400 pips. Okay, so it's not a bad trade. British pound USD got divergence on the daily, which is a really good indication it's losing steam. Let's see if we can see another example. Oh yeah, look. Divergence on the daily went long. Divergence on the daily went long, but came back, right? Let's see if we have a sell divergence. Divergence on the daily went long. Eventually came back, but that was in February. You would have been in profit till February 2016 till June. February to June. So better part of the whole year off of that divergence. So we're posted divergence again, right around an inflection zone. These are the type of setups for those position traders, right? You find that break, or you can give it lots and lots of room. Right? Let's say we're so close to this area, we just want to enter that sell trade if we get up there. This is obvious, right? The 200 EMA. We could be fairly, risk to reward 7 to 22 or 7 to 1, right? If we put that up there, and you just try to catch this puppy. Then if it does drop to there, that's 710 pips, guys. It's $7,000 for every lot. Not a bad trade. All right, British pound NZD. So we popped above the 200 EMA with some style, and now we've come back down and we're testing it. And I'm showing some rejection. So I'm going to kind of pop this around a little bit. I want to be bullish right here. We're on a pullback, so you got to be a little careful. Let's see what the next couple day candles tell us. And then, I like this NZD CAD. So NZD had quite a run last week, quite a pop. So here on the daily chart, you can see that bullish pop right off of the 200 EMA. So I don't see any reason why we would get too bearish until there. We are testing the bottom side of this. So one could go, you know what? This is kind of a former support. We've already popped up of it, beat it. So I'm going to throw this right here. There we go. I don't really need that one anymore. NZD CHF, there's that pop. I want to see what's going to happen at this 200 EMA. NZD JPY, we're at the top of the range. So it looks like NZD is either going to just keep kicking everyone's butt or we're going to see a correction this week. Okay? Such a bullish pop at last week. We want to see if we're going to get that correction this week. So NZD is hot. USD Canadian just keeps going down, right? We just keep going down on this pair. Look at the daily here. Ooh, let's just get crazy for a second and say, after this massive bullish run here in March, right? Just like all these guys on Robinhood that bought airline stocks or whatever stock took the biggest hit in March, they got their stimulus checks and went to Robinhood and bought it. So let's just say that we got that scenario and we entered here in March, and we just held this thing. Just held it. It would have been 156 days, so it'd been a long hold. But 1,236 pips you're at. So not a bad trade. However, it would have been that stressful if you caught this big bearish FU candle. It would have came back once and retested you, and it would just been like ha ha ha. Oh, and then when you drop below the 200 EMA, it went sideways for a while, and then But where it's sitting right now, which is probably what you guys really care about, we're going to have a big zone. We hit the backside here, we hit the front side there. So it's going to leave me a pretty big zone there. And as far as this could give us a really good range. I want to go back to this pre-COVID range. So I want to see what that gives us as a bearish. So lots of room to play here. Lots of real estate. The bullish zone's pretty big, so it's going to be kind of hard. You can see we tested it right here. But if we start hanging out in this area, I'm going to really start looking bullish. Same thing on USD Swiss franc. We're way down here. It's probably one of the lowest levels it's been in quite some time. I mean, if you want to see some pairs that haven't really recovered since the COVID, well, I guess COVID caused this, and they came back and they went back. But man, last time we were down here was May 2015, and then we had this ridiculous. This killed a lot of people. See this? This is the famous Swiss franc pulling the peg on their currency. Because for the longest time, everyone knew the Swiss franc had a certain level it would never go past. And then they decided to pull that peg. Bam! A lot of brokers lost their jobs. A lot of brokers lost their jobs. A lot of people quit trading. Let's just look at the pips. 1,800 pips, and this happened. This was the biggest flash crash I've ever seen, but it happened instantly, guys. I know this is a daily candle. Let's see if I can go down to like a 15-minute candle. We find it. No, I'm not. No, it's just going to take too long, and you guys got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. But this is where we're at in the U.S. Swiss franc. U.S. JPY, we're flirting with this area as a bullish area, and we're flirting down there. So that's where I'm going to get bullish. unless I have a reason not to. We do have this little COVID dip. So we'll see. We will just have to see. This is one of my favorite pairs that I'm trading right now on much smaller time frames, like 3 minute, and I'm trying to catch, small intraday moves. I mean, we are really at a decent within the summer support right here. Let's see. Just saw a little trade idea. Bam. All right, guys. Well, that concludes this week's Sunday setups. Man, if you got any questions, if you enjoyed this, hit the like button. Help support the channel. If you got any questions or comments, throw them in the comment section below. If you're interested in one of my courses or any services that I provide, go ahead, set up a call with me. There's a Calendly link at allenfx.com. I am real. I'm a ex-plumber who trades for a living now. And if you want to just chat, hit me up, man. All right, guys, have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you on the charts next week. And let's go make some money together. All right. Happy Sunday.